digest. From lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Yeah. Let's just end the year as we mean to start it by not actually being on stage when the intro finishes. I mean, what more could you want? It is Christmas. Oh Lord, I'm so
Just
looking
play it
forward
again,
to.
Dermot. I was
Yeah.
rocking out. I was rocking
Yeah.
out. So I love that
I-
intro so much.
Yeah, I do. I did that once actually. I did that in the watch along. I wasn't ready, so I played it again. I didn't do it deliberately because on the top of StreamYard, if nobody uses StreamYard, there's a thing called loop. If you tick that box, it loops whatever you're playing. So instead of stopping and introducing the show, went straight into the intro again. I don't think nobody complained, but I do love the intro. Colin actually sang that. That is Colin's good voice singing
That's
that.
awesome.
He wrote
Yeah.
the song as well. So all rights to that song go to Colin. Anyone tries to nick it, you will be hearing from his lawyers. From Santa Claus and Diddley Squat Farm, which I watched the whole of Christmas Day, by the way. Me and the missus binned out on Clarkson's Farm, the new series. We waited to Christmas Day to watch it, and we just binged out the whole series. Absolutely love Clarkson's Farm.
What was it?
Absolutely.
3 or 4? It's three, I think.
It's 4.
3. Is it 4?
It's 4. I absolutely love Clarkson's Farm, and then I've got a load of old Top Gear to watch, all the challenges and all the get up to now for thing. But guys, you don't want to hear about what I'm watching. Of course, you want to hear about the Palace game tomorrow. Yes, Spurs are back after the Christmas break. Our first Christmas game. Rain, look, let's be honest. It hasn't been a great 2025 for Spurs. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I am.
It was a little
because
blip.
Spurs-
There was a little blip in the middle of the year.
yeah, there was.
A
But are you looking
positive
forward
blip.
to? Yeah, a positive blip, a big blip. But are you
Big
looking forward to
positive
Spurs? Yeah, are you looking forward to Spurs being back tomorrow? I am actually. I'm looking forward to seeing the team again tomorrow, and it's been a full week without no Spurs. So bring it on, come on.
It's been a nice break, without a, I'm sick and tired of. It's been obviously because, I was busy with, some family stuff.
Yeah.
So you're not sitting around waiting for the game. So it's been a nice little break. It hasn't felt like a week.
No, it hasn't. It hasn't. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because how badly we've been playing. We sort of put them out of our minds a little bit. I think since the last game. I think tomorrow's is really important for Thomas Frank for so many reasons. Tomorrow's so important for morale going into the Brentford game on New Year's Day. I think also with his own credibility of being a manager, can he really manage under the pressure at a club like Tottenham? And he is under pressure. I asked the question this morning, and I can tell you, Spurs have no intentions of getting rid of Thomas Frank for the foreseeable future. So we know he's going to get January. We know he's going to be backed. I this morning it dropped into my WhatsApp chat I have with our sources that a massive update on who we're going for, what we're looking at. So there will be a video going out or a live stream going out before New Year's Eve, or I think on New Year's Eve, about all the latest transfer rumors with the window starting up on the 1st of January. We did one for St. Stephen's Day and Box Day for you guys in the UK. So thank you very much for watching that. Got great views. I really appreciate that video. It was a good hour of talking transfer. So we've got a lot to go through then, Rain, with the new list. And Thomas Frank has to prove he's good enough to manage Tottenham Hotspur. There is a lot of arguments at the moment, isn't there, that he's not good enough. He shouldn't be managing us. It should be somebody else. But there is an argument. I think I'm sort of not really coming round to the argument, but I get it. That if we sack Frank, who do we go for? Do you know? For me, I think he still has a job while he's in the FA Cup. If we go out the FA Cup and we've got nothing to play for, I then think then you make a change. Then you put a manager in for the rest of the season or whatever you're doing. But I think while we're in the FA Cup, I think he deserved a chance to prove himself because he could go on and win that competition. We don't know. We don't know. Could be our year to win the FA Cup since 1991. So I think while he's in that competition, I think he still deserves a chance to manage our club.
That's horrendous, isn't it? 34 years.
It is. Do you know what?
35 years by next year.
35 years. I mean, we were a club that won that cup quite regular, wasn't it? It was our cup. We were the leading winners of that competition last time we won it. 35 years.
Just sick.
It's scandalous.
There's grown, adult men who've got teenage kids who've never seen us win the FA Cup.
I was a teenager myself last time we won the FA Cup.
That's because you're a pup. You're a young pup.
Yeah. I've seen this win. I've been alive for... Thank you for that. I
was a teenager as well. I was a teenager as well.
You're a sort of middle-aged pop. I come to think. I'm trying to think now. Back in 91, what a team we had though back then, wasn't it? When Sam Ways was coming in to decide, we had Gaza, we had Steve Sedgley, we had Gary Mabbutt, we had Pat Vanden Hauwe, we had Mitchell Thomas. People forget Mitchell Thomas was playing in that squad. Paul Stewart, Gaza, Lineker up front. We had Paul Allen on the wing. Who else did we have on the other wing? I'm trying to think now. Because I know Paul Allen was on the left, wasn't he? Who was on the right?
Well, and this is even after.
I think now.
This is even after, Hoddle and Waddle had moved on.
Yeah.
We were still a club that, Ferguson desperately wanted Gaza.
He did.
But he wanted to come and join. He wanted to join Tottenham instead of Manchester United.
Yeah, because we offered him a house and a jacuzzi.
Well,
and we offered his sister a car. I mean, a sunbed. That was it, a sunbed.
But the reality is that we don't have that pull in any way, shape, or form. Now, I just on your transfer show, I thought it was fantastic.
Thank you.
Again, it's a great advert for this channel, and the way that we have differing opinions, how we discuss our differing opinions so well. It was, I just love the friendly back and forth. It was really good. It was a really good review.
I mean, Christmas
Yeah.
Eve, we had Ange on the show. We literally had Ange live from Australia on the show on Christmas Eve. I mean, it was marvelous. Everyone who hasn't watched it, we were interviewing Ange Postecoglou at the time. He was putting a lot of shrimps on his barbie, I have to say. Wasn't very complimentary about me, Ray. I don't think he liked me very much, Ange, for some reason. But no, he's a big mate. He's a big mate. He's a big mate to Tequila's. Apparently, him and Tequila are quite tight couple.
He can't have heard what Tequila was saying about him last year. Then
No,
maybe.
no, he wasn't. No,
I still, you know where I stand.
Yeah,
on
I know
Frank.
I'm.
It really doesn't matter.
No.
I still think that your points about how Frank sort of generally plays are very valid. I think, you know, that's something that has to be addressed. You know, I've seen it firsthand when we played pragmatic counter-attacking football with Harry Kane and Sonny, no less. And the fan base just doesn't accept it. Just will full stop not accept it. So I still think that's a very valid opinion. And I think it probably provides more foresight than a lot of the Frank out people, or the people who say that they're not Frank out, but then just a Frank negative. So where I am is that we need better players. You know that I've got my you nearly converted me to Frank out a week or so ago with the comments about playing out from the back, and he's definitely he's consistently making comments about the fans. I even didn't like the comments after the Liverpool game where he said, "Oh, the fans were good today." I was like, dude. Maybe just leave the fans alone, you know, because even when you're being positive, it just reminds us that you were negative. So maybe just I'm not going to comment on the fans. You know, I'm not going to comment on the fans.
So. I agree with that. I agree with that, Ran. You need to leave the fans out of it and leave them just to concentrate on the team, on the players, and please, for the love of God, that love of anything that is Mary, Joseph, Jesus, and the wee donkey, if they can ever find him and Joseph, whatever happened to them, I still don't know. And nobody will ever know what happened to Joseph and the wee donkey. Sorry if I offended anyone, but I would love to know what happened to the wee donkey. I just want to know. Did they let him into the freedom of Bethlehem? Did he become a god somewhere? Did they let him and Joseph ride off into the sunset together? Nobody knows.
It has to be one or the other. It has to be. He became a god or glue. You know, one of the two.
I have an image of that donkey just riding off with Joseph into the sunset, you know, together under life adventures. That's where Shrek came from, I think. The wee donkey and Joseph. Maybe that's where Shrek came from. That for me, Thomas Frank had to concentrate on the players, on the club. Forget the fans. The fans could either back you or sack you. They have the power. Also, please stop praising other teams and other managers. It's doing my head in. I don't mind you saying, well, that player is good, but will you please stop doing it? He's doing it every press conference, every time you speak to him. Well, Glanster, it's like he's blowing smoke up their ass, thinking, if I get sacked from Tottenham, but I praise them enough, I might get a job with them after. Please, for the love of God, just stop doing it. Praise us. We employ you. We pay your wages. Praise us. But he doesn't, does he? He's always, well, the fans are not loyal fans if we boo. Well, I'm sorry. I think you have a right to boo. We pay the highest ticket prices in Europe. We're watching the shittest football we've watched since Conte. And also, we have a human right and a right to boo who we want. You can boo at the end. I don't agree with booing during the game, by the way. I think that's sort of anti-productive, but I can understand why people are doing it. You go to the home games, Rain, most every home game. I mean, you tell me. I mean,
well, I mean,
we all,
I always say, Dermot, you know, I've got one of the cheapest
Yeah.
season tickets in the. In fact, actually, my season ticket could only be cheaper if I sat one seat to my right.
Yeah.
Bizarrely, literally, if I sit one seat to my right, it goes down by 100 quid.
Jesus.
But yeah. but yet still, so I've got one of the cheapest seats in the whole ground. Yeah, and yeah, it goes down by about 100 quid, and that's like 100 quid is like a quarter of a season ticket at like I think Man City is like 500-600 quid. You know, for you know, somewhere between 400 and 600 quid for you know, on average for their normal season tickets. You know, so that's, you know, just if I move to the right, I would save a quarter of what it would cost to go and see Man City for the season. Go figure. But my season ticket, even though it's one of the cheapest in the ground, is still one of the most expensive in Europe. It's that's how bad it is. I mean, there's people I've been. Yeah, it is. I've been on quite a few streams over the last week, and I know people who pay well over double what I pay. You know, and they still are in bleachers, right? They're not having prawn sandwiches. They're still in the stands. So, you know, that is what it is. I will say, some good comments from Frank at after the Liverpool game. I did like the fact that he came out and he defended our players. Now, admittedly, you know, it was what it was, and I don't know I don't know how much you want to get into the Liverpool game, Dermot. But what I liked, just like you're saying, he shouldn't be talking about other clubs. I want a manager who isn't going to be, how can I put it? Isn't going to expose a brutal truth in press conferences about Tottenham Hotspur. I want a manager who is going to say, I've seen them given, but I don't think the referee got the right decision. I want a manager who's going to who's going to do everything he possibly can to get an advantage for Tottenham Hotspur and to back our players, back our club, back our fans. But at the moment, he needs to just, you know, just not say anything, because he should never have been. And when he said, you know, about Romero, bozo moment. But when he said, you know, that Romero should have been allowed to talk to the referee, and you know, and his, I don't think. And when he said about Xavi, I've seen them given, but you know, for me, it's harsh. You know, that's fine. That's fine. I don't mind that. I don't have to. He doesn't have to come out and go. He doesn't have, he's not an analyst on the Sky Sports sofa. He's a manager of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club.
Yeah, I get
that. And he should be putting pressure on referees to give us the benefit of the doubt, because heaven knows Liverpool got the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, they did. I mean, I think Wayne put it. We'll get to Wayne's comment in a minute, but look, very quickly on that point, I think Ange did that last season to a certain point, didn't he? He protected the players. He was very much, it's all against us, the Fergie sort of mentality. But I think he took it to another level where Fergie included the fans within that. They're against us. He included everyone. And I think if Ange had included everyone, I think most fans would have been pissed off for finished 17th, but I don't think he would have had so many fans against him, because he just kept it to him and the players. He didn't include the fans into that, where Fergie did. Fergie included the fans. It was everyone. It's against us. You know, we're as one. So I get it. I just think Thomas Frank probably isn't the right man for the job, but there's nothing we can do about it now. We're still in the FA Cup. Mathematically, we could still qualify for Europe. It depends how the next sort of month and a half goes in the league, where we finish. I don't think we are going to qualify for Europe. I think if we do, I think it'll be the Conference League. I think that's about as high as we can achieve. But I think Thomas Frank has to prove himself over the next month that he's the manager to take us forward. He needs to earn his right to manage us next season. Though I don't think he will be. but I just have a funny feeling if he gets a good second half of the season. I remember a season reign going back in the 80s, 88, 89, I think, where we had a horrible first half of the season, weren't we? We were down in 12th or 13th place, but we finished third in the league. At the end of the season, we had this second half run that was we're unbeaten, sort of 15 or 16 games in the league under Terry Venables. I remember that season quite well. And we may be having another one of those seasons where we have a great 2026 turns out to be a great year for us. I want to say big up to Wayne Bonner. He says, good afternoon, folks. Hope you're all well. I'm pumped for a glorious 3-1 victory tomorrow. Yeah, of course we are. We're going to win tomorrow. 6-1. I'm going for tomorrow. Big up Dwayne Colin, the most diehard Spurs fan I know. I know he is. He will come out one day. We're here for you, Colin. We're here for you. You know you can come to us. They got a good result the other night, United. But Issar at the AFCON, he is Wayne. He's not available tomorrow. Big up to Brenny, the only Arsenal fan. I truly respect him and the other Arsenal fella. For the life of me, I can't remember his name because my memory is shit at the moment. Big up to you, Brenny. Geeks, that's it, Geeks. The other Arsenal fan. I sorry, Geeks, if you're watching, I do apologize. Afternoon, gents. Hope you're all and in the chat had a great Christmas. Had a wonderful Christmas. Thank you so much. Nice and chilling. I wouldn't get rid of Frank, says Wayne. The season's not a blockbuster or going particularly well, but I have a gut feeling about Frank in a good way. Yeah, that's true. I get that. The FA Cup is my holy grail. First trophy I saw us win 1981. I was 3 when we won that. I remember the 82 final at 4. For some particular reason, I remember that. I just remember it. Then I remember 87 being really devastated when we lost to Coventry. And definitely remember 1991. Big up to Lucky Signs as well. Big up to Carl Simpson. Merry Christmas to you, Carl, from everyone on the channel this afternoon. All. Big up to Niall Collins. Says, big up, lads. Big up, Niall. Hope you're doing well, bud. We've got Carl saying, Frankin, thank God. A manager who has the balls to say we're not a Champions League club at the moment. We got lucky getting in. Somebody actually said it. I agree, but I think sometimes you've got to boost us up to give us a bit of confidence. I think saying to us fans, well, you're going to have 10 good games this season. I mean, that doesn't fill you with great confidence that we're going to have 10 great games. Brilliant. What about the other 58? They're going to be
trying to set. He was trying to set expectations, Dermot, and
yeah,
you know,
I get it.
And,
I get it.
And this is where I am. I think the pressure really is on Enoch. They're the ones who've hired Frank.
Oh, definitely.
And they've hired Frank. And Frank in the summer, I thought that was a really really smart thing that he did when he came out and he said, it wasn't critical. It was just very, the setup here in terms of transfers is not what I would expect. And we can all see that's where Spurs are. And if there's any manager, any like head coach, because I don't think we really have managers anymore. I think we don't have managers like we used to have in the 90s, where they were responsible for everything in the club. Really, we have head coaches who have to manage across, have to manage up. And they're not responsible for transfers. But he was saying, I don't have that link that I had at Brentford, and I can see that isn't working properly within the club, and we know that, especially
it's
before.
Down to us to get it working, isn't it? It's down to the club,
and it's down to Enoch, to get it working. So they need to sort it out, and maybe with Paratici, leaving, maybe that's an opportunity to go right. We're just gonna scratch. We're just gonna start from scratch here. We're gonna do what Villa did and sack Lange, and get somebody in who's going to be part of the longer term vision for this club, and start building.
Get Paul Mitchell back.
Problem with Paul Mitchell is he's very transitory. He's very, very good at his job, but he falls out with everybody. So he fell out with
Did he fall out with that Levy, or did Levy fall out with him?
He fell out with Levy. He said Levy just kept on interfering and didn't give him the leeway that he wanted.
So
It
if
didn't
you got
fall.
if you got the leeway then, Rain, and he got given the time and said, right, this is your department, you run it how you want. I think he was the only decent director of football we had, apart from Paratici.
Arneson was obviously very, very good.
Yeah.
And that's why Chelsea nabbed him. So Paratici's he's a wheeler and dealer, isn't he?
Yeah.
Paratici. We need somebody like that. We need somebody who can work under Vinay and has that, has a daily meeting with Frank.
Yeah.
And they together they're running the football club, and they're in lockstep. And one does, the scouting, the academy transition, looks after the loan, the loan players. If I had my way, we'd be looking at multi-club ownership. We've got the money to invest in that, and that person would be the link to our one or two sort of feeder clubs, as it were. And Frank is the first team coach. He's looking after the training. He's saying, look, I'm trying to get the most out of this player, but I think there's a 70% chance we need to be really, really thinking about moving them on, if we can possibly move them on. So
yeah,
maybe go and sound out if there's, if people are willing to buy Bentancur, for example. I can play him, but I prefer to upgrade him. Having those kind of very private discussions and then letting somebody else, who Frank or whoever the manager is, trusts to go and do that work. That's where I'm. I think that appointment, the person who sits next to Frank, and it's an ENIC, or it's next to the head coach, and that's an ENIC thing, is the most important thing to happen in January.
I agree.
From my perspective.
Well, look, there's no confirmation Paratici's left yet. There's plenty of rumours that he's gone to Fiorentina, but nothing's actually confirmed yet. Nothing's come out and said Tottenham Hotspur have announced the departure of Paratici, so we still don't know what's happening yet. I get Christmas does get in the way. I wonder if Enoch are trying to persuade Paratici to stay. If there's something there, what do you want? And he says, I want this. I wonder if Enoch might turn around and say, do you know what? Okay, we're going to give you that. We're going to give you the power. We're going to let you run it how you want to run it. I think letting Paratici go, I think after we stood by him for the 2 years he was out in limbo, I think he owes us a little bit of loyalty here, because we were loyal to him. I understand it's the law of going back to Italy, going back home with an Italian club, with them being bottom of Serie A. They're giving them potloads of money to spend. The thing of keeping them in Serie A and building them into a championship league side. I get the law. I get the sort of, do you know what? That's an exciting project for me. But I think he just owes us a little bit of loyalty. For we stuck by him. Any other clubs wouldn't have stuck by him, but Daniel Levy did. But I also do reckon if it's down to Daniel Levy getting them back in, I wonder if this war between Enoch and Levy has a bigger fallout than we're led to believe. And I just feel whoever was a Levy pick, I just don't think they're going to be in their jobs for very much longer. And I think it's something to do with this bigger row or that's happening between Levy and Enoch. I think there's more to it than meets the eye. And
this is almost it's almost another show, isn't it? But
it is.
there is definitely something going on.
There's bad blood there.
Yeah, absolutely, and it appears, it looks to me like that's sucking up a lot of energy
Hmm.
at the board level
Yeah, I think so.
when we desperately need this club desperately needs um, some rebuilding at sort of the senior levels.
Yeah.
If Paratici, and I agree, you know, I think Paratici is as good as anybody else that I know of.
Yeah,
You know,
I agree.
to come and take over. He was very, very good when he had his number two. I can't remember.
Gabbiadini.
Gabbiadini. Yeah.
Gabbiadini. Yeah.
I can't remember. I'm going to have to go and have a look exactly how to say it. But I think it's I suspect, if you, I don't know if you obviously you've got an outstanding memory. You know that if we think back to that announcement that Paratici and Langer are going to work together, and the body language between them was just like, it was just like, you know, you could tell that Paratici was thinking, who this guy is not fit to lace my shoes, and he's probably right. You know,
But Steve Hitchen was there when Paratici came. Wasn't he Paratici's T-boy for a while? Get me my cappuccino, or get me my whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Paratici staying. I suspect that the one of the contingencies on that would have to be that Langer goes and Paratici gets his own team.
Yeah, I think so. I agree. I just don't feel letting Paratici go is going to be it's going to be a great marketing thing for Phoenix, because it's not. I just feel. Yeah, go on.
And lastly, on the Enoch thing, I think the big question, which kind of you're alluding to, is was Frank a Levy hire or an Enoch hire? Did Enoch buy into the fact that Frank had all these limitations? Had, you know, never managed a team that plays twice a week. He's clearly learning about that. Not managed a Champions League club, which is what we're aspiring, you know, to be. We're unfortunately not. We're in the Champions League, but we're not a Champions League club. You know, a manager who manages big players, elite players, like Romero, like Van der Ven, like Xavi. Although Xavi had very good words to say about Frank when he joined, you know, but he hasn't done that in the past. So, you know, all of those limitations were clear when we signed Frank. When we hired Frank, and if you would hope that the person hiring Frank would have the brain power to say, do you know what? We know that those are the problems, and we know that those have to be fixed, and those are going to be fixed with time. Now, if it was Levy who made that decision, and not Enoch, if it wasn't Enoch who bought into that, then your idea that Frank might be going sooner rather than later, might you know, that possibility increases.
I get that. Look, I just think time will tell on this. We have to wait and see what happens. We have to see how the Paratici thing. Look, the window opens in a few days' time. It's not like the window's a month away. It's about 3 or 4 days away. So it's going to be Tottenham will have to come out with something within the next 3 or 4 days to say, look, Paratici's staying, Paratici's going. What's happening? I mean, I think for stability as well. I think we've done that with the manager. We've come out and said, right, we're going to back this manager. I think it's the old dreaded vote of confidence, isn't it? Back in the day, once you get that, I think you're on thin ice.
TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok is right. But I think with Paratici, I think he owes us a little bit of loyalty here. We stood by him when nobody else would. And you can slag off Daniel Levy all you want, but if you look at off the field what he built us into, I think nobody can criticize him for that. Everyone can criticize him for on-field actions, transfers, all that, but off the field, he's made this into this juggernaut of earning money, of earning our own money. We're sort of we're earning our own money without having to go into looking for people to come in and put money into the club, a bit like what Man United had to do with the Glazers, with Jim Ratcliffe. You look at Liverpool looking for investment, and I think our model is probably the future of football. I think the way Tottenham are at the moment, I think that is the model most clubs want to go after. Villa are starting to go up on that model now as well. But we got things going for us. A, we're a London club. B, the stadium's big enough to do everything bar football, which I don't have a problem with. As long as that money goes back into the football club, I don't have a problem. And I think with all the the training facilities, the football stadium, the way that club shop is run, the way that we run our business model, I think we got a lot going for us. I just feel at the moment, since Levy's left, we're driving without a driver. Tottenham are freewheeling at the moment, and with all the structures that Daniel Levy, good or bad, that he put into that football club, them structures have been taken away, and it seems like the loonies are running the asylum. Nobody actually knows what they're doing, and I think to get the right people in to run each department, because don't forget, Daniel Levy ran all them departments himself, filing by himself. So till we get somebody running every department and it runs smoothly, this is sort of the chaos we're going to be in. Also, and I agree with Simon Jordan that he put out a clip before Christmas that Tottenham are up for sale in all but name. I agree with that. I think Spurs are up for sale in all but name. I think Enoch are cleaning the decks. I think they're looking to move on. I think they're looking to sell the club. They will sell it at the right price. So I think it's going to take time, but I would not be surprised by the start of next season. Tottenham have new manager, new owners, new identity, and will also have a stadium name. That's just my view. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just have this gut wrenching feeling that's where we're heading towards. I think what we're seeing now is Enoch cleaning the decks.
Yeah,
This is them putting the football clubs up for sale. We're cleaning the decks. We're making it easy for somebody to come in to take over the football club and do it how you want. I think the business side of it, Enoch will keep hold of, but I think they are definitely selling the football side, and I agree with Simon Jordan on that. 100%.
So
they are.
So I'm glad that Simon Jordan has been watching me and what I've been saying, because I was saying that in the summer. I was saying that I would not be surprised if they separate all of the property and land side of the business from football operations, and whether they keep the stadium, underneath their umbrella or sell that part, or it gets leased, is the big question mark for me, because let's face it, if the who can we sell to? Somebody in an American consortium or a state in the Middle East. That's basically what we're talking about.
Gut wrenching feeling. What's your gut feeling? Because we're going to the Palace game very quick, because we've got to pre-record our lineups. I'm tight for time.
Yeah.
So what's your gut wrenching feeling on it?
State in the Middle East. Why? Because they would absolutely love to have the stadium, an all-purpose stadium in London, to do all of the types of events that they love doing. And
I may not like it, Rain. I may not want an all estate. I have a funny feeling that, call me mad, but I think there's a video in this, and we will do a show in this on where we see the future of Tottenham going, probably just after the new year. I want to do a show in this. Maybe you, me, and Tequila can do one together. Is the and James as well, is the link to NFL, and I'm just wondering if there's an NFL link here, an NFL League franchise might come in and buy us and think, well, look, you can do American football. You do have the facilities to run American football. And I wonder if somebody's coming in and say, right, we're going to play all our games in London. I just wonder how that would work. But I don't know if it would or not. But I can see an NFL type owner coming in buying Spurs. I just would that link to NFL? Would it make sense? Probably would. And they will probably bring a stadium sponsor name as well, by the way, with them. But I any sponsor stadium name needs to be linked to Tottenham Hotspur for me. Maybe the new White Hart Lane, or maybe the Bill Nick Stadium, sponsored by whatever. It's got to have some Tottenham link. We are playing Palace tomorrow. I want to say before we go on to that, just very quick, that I am so rude. I want to say big up to John Fitzpatrick, my Irish brother. Big up to you, John. Hope you're doing well. I hope you and the family are doing well in Limerick. I hope you had a lovely Christmas. We'll say big up to Spurs side chat. It says the way this is why I feel Frank Engine is the one for us. Big up to you. Carl says, bring back Mitchell. I would bring back Mitchell. I would. Levy has gone now. We got what else we got there? We've got Spurs side chat saying I want the Don to go with it, get him gone. We need a factory reset. And then he says he will. Thank you so much for doing that, Rain, about me and Tequila show the other day. Very kind of you, bud. Thank you so much. Right, Crystal Palace. We've got tomorrow, guys. It is a 4:30 kickoff. Live watch along here on THFC till I die. I think me and Rain are doing it tomorrow. We've got a celebrity guest joining us, our tactical guru, second in command only to James. And of course, you've got the main John Motson, voice like me, guiding you through the game. And the only way I know how, which is showing a tantrum when we're playing really badly, or going completely delusional when we're winning. We have played 32 times. We've drawn 7. Spurs have had 19, by the way, not 19. Total wins, 10 at home, 9 away. Now, as you can see, poor old Santa's there. I thought I'd just leave Santa up there for a little while, just for one more day. He will go tomorrow. It looks like he's on the beach. He's done his Santa run. He's on the beach in Barbados, enjoying his time. And Crystal Palace have 6 wins in total, 4 at home and 2 away. Of course, Spurs are 14th at the moment in the league. Could drop down, I think, to 15th or 16th today by the end of the day. 6 wins, 4 draws, 7 defeats, 5 clean sheets. Crystal Palace sits 8th in the league today with 7 wins, 5 draws, and 5 defeats, 7 clean sheets for Crystal Palace. Referee tomorrow, of course, is Gerard Gillette. Scott Ledger and Mark Scholes are the assistant referees. Darren England is the 4th official. And on VAR, it's James Whiskey Bells. There you go. I had to get that in there. I'm sorry. Sorry. Yeah, nobody gets it, but I do. Jokes are great in my head. This is the injury list. Of course, it's Kula out with the knee, Madison out with the knee, Udogie out with the hamstring, Tataki out with the foot, and Solanke out with an ankle. Guys, what we're going to do, we'll get Rain's very quick thoughts on the Palace game tomorrow and your score prediction. Get your score predictions in the chat as well, guys, and we're going to quickly go and do the bit of the lineup, and then that will be up for tomorrow morning. Rain, Crystal Palace, look, it should be a win for Spurs tomorrow, but Palace are playing really well at the moment. Only, I think, 2 wins in the last 5. Tottenham have only had 1 win in the last 5. So, form for both clubs haven't been great. But under Glasner, Palace are difficult to play against. They're tough to play against. They're organisedly set up brilliantly under Glasner. Look, for me, I'm going for a 2-1 Spurs win. But that's just me being me. Where are you going with it logically?
So we've actually got a good record at Selhurst Park as well.
Yeah, we have.
I went and checked in the last 10 games, because in my head it's like I always think of us doing quite well, but in the last 10 games we've won 6, drawn 2, lost 2 at Selhurst Park, which is a stunning away record. Especially considering how bad we are travelling to the rest of the teams in London. I don't think they're playing very well at the moment, Palace. 2 wins in 5. One of those losses was a 4-1 drubbing by Leeds. They're absolutely hammered. And there's lots of rumours over Glasner's future at Palace. There's credible rumours that he's refusing to sign a new contract because he's fallen out with the board over the support that he's had to bolster the squad. We know that Palace have always been a selling club, going whether that's Wilfred Zaha, whether that's Elise, whether that's Eze. Nobody expects Guehi to be at the club next season.
Very quick question on that. Just quick question on Gary. 6 months left in his contract. Worth the punt? January, yeah or nay?
If he would come to Tottenham, then I would definitely take him. Obviously, that would mean that we would have to see the back. We would have to see off Dragusin. It would hopefully make Takai and Ashley Phillips irrelevant. So because then we'd have 4 really decent centre backs. Absolutely, I'd take Guehi.
Yeah, I would too. No chance, but I would.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Obviously, they've got a few players who we covet. Wharton is definitely one, although he's exactly. Wharton is definitely one. I would have Mateta in a heartbeat. Mateta's got Mateta's got over 3 or 4 years. He's got 1 goal every 3 games, and he started slow. I think he's a cracking. I think he's 28 years old.
Yeah,
I think he's absolutely in his prime. He is a really, really solid centre forward. Which and compare him to our forwards, he's light years ahead of our forwards. Moani apart, yet to see what Moani can really do. Maybe we'll see tomorrow. Maybe we'll start playing him up top regularly, and we'll see what Moani can actually do. Actually, but I would have Mateta in a heartbeat. In our squad. And they've just got a really, really well put together first team, and they always bring through, good. They always develop their academy products well, and then buy the right sort of players to come in alongside them. Will Hughes. I remember Will Hughes from 5 or 6 years ago, and there was rumours that he was going to go to this club, that club. He was a bit hit and miss, and he's just become a very, very solid player in central midfield for Crystal Palace. Nathaniel Klein, Tyreek Mitchell at left back is another player who I would absolutely have in our squad. Yeah. At left back, again, he's somebody who's just done it year in, year out. Really solid player. I'm not saying that he's an outstanding superstar left back, but I would absolutely have him in our squad if he was playing between 30 and 60% of our games. I wouldn't be too upset. So I look at Palace, and they're a really well put together side. They don't have. I don't think they've got any AFCON. Oh, no, it's Saar. I think
Saar's the only one. I think.
Yeah. So they've got a Saar. We've got a Saar.
Yeah.
And both are on AFCON. But they're not going to miss him because Hughes and Wharton will do a really, really good job in central midfield tomorrow, and that's going to be a battle for us. That's going to be a real battle. Whoever plays, watch the lineup prediction show for tomorrow. Whoever plays for us is going to have a battle on their hands.
Yeah,
because they're two really good players. Will Hughes and Wharton understand each other well. They link together well. They're both technically competent. They're both at a really good level of maturity where they don't make many mistakes.
Yeah.
In contrast to us.
Yeah. Score prediction.
Oh. There's so many variables. We're so hit and miss, aren't we? I really want to say 2-1 to us.
Yeah, I'm going for 2-1 to us. I am going for 2-1 to us. But guys, thanks a lot, Rain. Great pre-game thoughts. Really enjoyed it. There will be, so tomorrow, guys, you've got before the whistle at 3:30 going over the lineup, our thoughts on the lineup when it comes out. 4:00, the watcher, or 4:05, the watch along will start. So we've got half an hour build up there towards the game. So we'll go over the lineup, we'll go over the tactics of the lineup and how we think we're going to play. And then we've got after the whistle as well. Afterwards, we've got score prediction. The boss is in, so all of us need to behave. The head honcho, the new owner of Tottenham Hotspur is in the house. Yes, he is here. Angie's best mate now, apparently. I tell you one thing. All jokes aside, Tequila does do a banging Angie impression. He really does. And we did it Christmas Eve. Anyone, please give that show a watch because it was the most funniest show we did. We really did. It was blooming hilariously funny. We ended up having an interview with Ange and Tequila doing it. He was absolutely. Nothing scripted on them shows. Me and Tequila don't script anything. It's all done off our heads, and I just whack him a question. He answers it as Ange would. Absolutely brilliant. But he's gone for a 1-0 Palace win. Do you know what? I wouldn't bet against that either. To be fair, I think where we're playing that tomorrow. It depends which Tottenham comes out. Which Tottenham comes out of that tunnel? Is it a Tottenham that cares, that's going to get a wing, going to end of 2025, and or is it going to be a Tottenham that comes out and he says, you know what, we're going to end this year on a high. We're going to give the fans something, and it all depends, doesn't it? 2025 has been a good but horrible year as well. Big up Angie sue me for gimmick infringement. Says I'm taking. Yeah, well, do you know he's got. Isn't it flattery's a way of what's the word? And he's just got to embrace that you're his biggest impersonator. He's got to embrace it. Tequila got an OnlyFans site, which is Angie's doing sailing things and walking about. He's killing it. I told him if he was just who I was, I may have added mate at the end of it too. Yeah, that's true. Big up Tequila. I hope you're doing all right, bud.
Its imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Is what you're saying?
I tell you what, Tequila does a killing impression of Ange. He really does, guys. So do give that viewer and also do get over to the transfer special we did on St. Stephen's Day as well, guys. Boxing Day view over in the UK. I really enjoyed doing that. Really went into depth. Got me and Tequila's thoughts on the window. There is another one on the way as well. But we are going to end up with a little bit of breaking news. Firstly, that I was told this morning that Thomas Frank is the manager for the foreseeable future. So we know we can put that to bed. And also, this was the other bit of news. There were strong links previously around Simeone, but recent reports suggest he is now poised to join Man City in January, meaning Spurs will not pursue him anymore. So anyone wanting Simeone coming to Tottenham, forget it. He's going to Man City. That is where he's heading. Right?
Should have got Semenyo in the summer.
Should have got him in the summer. But on that bombshell, we're going to quickly finish this off and do the predicted lineup very quickly. Thank you all for watching. See you tomorrow at 3:30 for before the whistle, and all the build up to the Palace game. Football is back, thank God. But which Tottenham are going to turn up tomorrow? The good, the bad? Oh God, what a damn right ugly. See you tomorrow.